million quid question: how to make more money out of what you're doing and choose the right strategy of what to do next. Because it's very easy to be in a position of, we could do this next, we could do a bit of this, we could do a bit of that, and a bit of this, that and the other, all over the place. But the thing is, you can be caught in a trap of being the jack of all trades, which in construction and trades, everyone says that and fucking knows it, in terms of when a plasterer starts becoming a chippy, or a chippy starts doing a bit of electrics, we all know it gets fucked up. But in business, it's exactly the same. I think it's very easy to be like, right, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this. And really, for me, the whole point in this video is going, right, well, what is fucking strategy? And strategy is the easiest next thing you can do to make more money or make the business better. Strategy is a way of simplifying, like, because strategy has a glorified name of something like clever and like revolutionary, breaking grounds, you know, whatever way you want to call it, is something like out of this world. But strategy is really, what's the lowest hanging fruit for you, and how can you plug that in with the least amount of work? Like, that is the best strategy for you. Like, wherever you're at now in your business, what's the easiest thing you could do next that doesn't take as much time, that you can just plug in? That's the best strategy for you to tackle and plug in, 1,000,000%, because it is very easy, you know. And I'm speaking from experience, because we did it. We were doing a lot of office fit outs, a lot of commercial work, a lot of boring stuff, and you can get like a rabbit in the headlights going, well, we're going to go into solar because solar's massive. It was coming out, there was a grant, you know, it was easy to get into solar, but we didn't really know anything about it. Same with like EV car charging points. It was like, oh, let's get into that, it's all big, it's big, you know, but we don't really know what we're doing. Like, we don't really have the resource and that and the expertise and the knowledge. It's going to be a lot more difficult to plug that in. But then there's the other way of just doing more of what you already do, because it's what you know, like, and just tackle and plug that in. Because what I've learned with all of this stuff is that if you want to grow a business, there is really those three choices. It's one, do more of what you're already doing. Two, improve what you're already doing, like improve it, make it faster, make it quicker, make it more profitable. But then third is new. What's a new avenue? And I think everyone jumps straight to new, like, oh, we're going to do a bit of this, we're going to do a bit of that, as like the saviour of making more money and then doing more revenue in the business. But I would argue now, and looking back, the best and smartest thing to do is just do more of what you're already doing, because you've got the expertise, you've got the resources. You might need to just upscale that resource, but you really know what you're doing, and you can do it with your eyes shut because you just know what you're fucking doing. Problem is, whenever you do something new, you've got ups, downs, if nots, maybes, fuck knows what might happen. It's going to be a steep, challenging learning curve, and I think people move on too quick. And to give you an idea of what I mean by moving on too quick, your first £1 million a year in revenue should just be from doing one thing over and over and over again. Like, it's not doing 3 or 4 things. It's not being like, to give you an example, like being a maintenance company, you're doing extensions, you've got a plumbing division, you've got an electrical division. Like, you need to just get one thing locked in. That will easily get you to £1 million a year in revenue, just doing one trade, one specific area or element of stuff that you do, and getting to that point at least. I mean, suppose you can even get to like 10 million quid a year just by doing one thing, but it just gets harder as you grow in size. But the trap of choosing the right strategy is someone that's like doing £500,000 a year and going, right, what's new, what's next? And the reality is, the easiest thing for you to do is more of what you're doing, make it better, improve it, maybe invest in some newer things that are going to help you do more of the same, not newer avenues of work, but just newer ways of doing better practice and better systems and processes and all that stuff. But the thing is, look, I know, because I was here before, the shiny penny, new looks more attractive, new always sounds more exciting, doing more and doing better of what you're already doing is boring. I fully get it, but you just got to look at what you're doing as your business is just a vehicle to get you to where you want to be. Like, it's just a vehicle to earn you the money so that you can do what the fuck you want with your life. So it makes sense to build that vehicle the best as you can, and often the boring work is actually where the money is. It's just doing more and more and more of the same boring shit. Like, I used to have always like dreams of being like, well, we do luxury interiors, we do all bespoke stuff every time. It sounds nice and I enjoy it, but to grow a business is a fucking headache. Like, it is nothing but management and ball ache and ag, you know, but it's exciting, so you want to do it. And the same we have with developments as well, like, well, let's build some luxury houses, let's build some really nice stuff, but the margin just isn't there, or wasn't there for us at the time. And the amount of work and effort and shit to get into it, it just made way more sense to just keep doing more boring offices, warehouses, fit out stuff, you know, nothing exciting whatsoever, but just lumps of work, churning it over and over and over, getting really good at it, and just keep going, rinse and repeat. And I think that's the main thing with this, with the strategy for you guys. You clicked on this video to go, right, what's the best strategy for me? The unsexy answer is doing more of the same. Build that out and perfect it. Like, be really good at just doing what you're already doing and just master it and get that to a really decent level. Like I say, at least £1 million a year before you make the jump into the new, the sexy something else and run, because otherwise you just end up being exactly what I said earlier, the jack of all trades, master of none. Fucking hell, it's booting off. Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none. And then the management's really hard as well, because you've got so many different balls to manage. Whereas if you grow a decent thing, and that is your strategy, if you do the same shit over and over again, that's so much easier to build a team around that to actually get you off and out of the management of the business as well. So that's my biggest advice. Look at all the things you've got for you, every little different avenue and strategy that you can think of, write them all down and just pick the one that's the easiest, that's in line with what you're already doing, and maximize that first, and then you can move on to the next one. But nail one, then move on. Don't start multiple things, just get one absolutely fucking bang on. That's the right strategy for you next. Take a lot of the big companies out there, someone like Coca-Cola, they just fucking nailed Coke for a long time. They built that to doing billions of quid before they then ventured into other stuff, other drinks and other flavours. Like, they just nailed that one product, that simple one thing. There's loads of companies like that. That's just what they do. You know, Costa Coffee or a Starbucks, they started out just doing coffee, loads and loads of it, more branches. Then they've gone with the times and then added the drive-through element, the fucking iced drinks, the crush'ems, the iced lattes, whatever, do you know what I mean? All that type of stuff. But they started just by getting the coffee right first, in like one location, getting that locked in, nailed. Then they got a second location, a third, a 10th, 100th, 200th. Before you know it, they've got 1,000 locations just selling coffee, just doing the same thing over and over and over again. Better processes, better systems, boring, just scale. That's it. They didn't go into doing pizza. They didn't then go into doing fucking lasagna. Do you know what I mean? They didn't, they just kept it clean. We do coffee, this is how we do it, we grow it. Learn from the big principles of big companies. It's the same shit. That is the best way to pick the right strategy for your business. Pick the low-hanging fruit, nail it, and just keep going until you build a really decent business and make the money you want.